I've got it right here. Let's see. So thank you all so far for those who have come. I'll keep an eye out for people who join us in a moment. It is June 7th already in 2022. It's crazy how time is just going by. So I'm going to do a call to order. I'm not going to do the whole thing where we necessarily have to go around and introduce ourselves, because the people that are here, I think we have all seen before and have probably seen each other before. Andrea, Bob, David, and then of course the folks here from our side. Thank you for coming in and finding out what's been going on. And my hope is that if things are going on in your neck of the woods, we'll have some time at the end after we breeze through the news to see what's going on with you folks as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just skip the formal introductions, because nobody new that's I think hasn't been seen by others before. So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and I think Sang's here, right, Sang?
Yes.
I'll let you breeze through the computer game design stuff, and I'll go through the slides as we do, so we can see how things have been going. But and then we'll just kind of cruise through. So, Sang, you want to start with the fact that we had another great graduation?
Sure. On May 27th, we had a degree celebration for the College of Visual and Performing Arts and commencement for the university. And this year, we had one master's graduate and 48 graduates earned their BFA degree. And in terms of incoming students for the fall 2022, as of today, we have 58 students, incoming students, and plus, I think it's 12 incoming students for Mason Korea, but I just put 10 because that was the last number that I checked. The next slide. And this is a video we played for the degree celebration. Let's watch this together.
When I first came in, I only knew that I could play games.
It's amazing to go from playing a video game to actually making one, because you learn that there's so many things you gotta do.
It was really an experience, like going in here as a freshman for the first time and realizing like, wow, there's a lot of different classes I'm gonna have to take for this.
The magic, I think, for me was the fact that you could just do anything. We'll take this piece of paper, we'll write down all the things that we think would be super cool about this game, and trying to figure out, like, how would we piece this together? What does this look like?
You need your programmers, you need your artists, you need game writers, you need sound designers, you need level designers, you need a producer to have all of you wrangled in together.
Then you spend a lot of time just in production, which is making all the assets.
There's always a point between, like, beginning and end when you've, like, white boxed everything and now you're about to put assets into the game that you're like, this is kind of ugly.
You have all these like little babies in this project that you're putting all of your love and your soul into.
Making sure all the pieces fall into place is probably the most difficult.
But you also are building soft skills. It's all collaboration, it's all communication, it's relationship maintenance.
It is really important to communicate with the group, to collaborate and to reach the same goals.
So you're making all these assets, but you have to wait for everybody to come together at that one moment to make your builds and your alphas and your betas. And the moment you do, it's the most rewarding feeling ever.
When you play through the game and you're looking at these different environments and you're looking at the spaces you've made, there's like a moment of just like pure happiness.
You almost feel like a proud parent, you know, watching your darling child go off and do something great.
Not only do you get to experience that love, that joy as you're building this, the player does, and they get to see it when it's all done. So they get the best experience of all.
The journey is almost more important than the end, because you really start to see the connections, and like you even discover like who you are as an individual.
As an artist, you don't really get to like see your stuff in the game until your programmer has built it and until your level designers have placed those assets. And the moment you get to play your game for the first time, that moment you feel so rewarded, and it's beautiful and it's chaotic and it's fantastic.
A lot of the classes for the game design program in particular are very project oriented.
We have classes for production, we have classes for management, arts, programming, sound design.
I didn't know how to do mobile development at all, so I took a mobile development class, and now I've been making small scale game apps for months now.
You are required actually to dip your toe into every facet of game design to some degree.
It can be overwhelming. It can be a lot. You're like, whoa, like I have to program, I have to do art, I have to do sound. It gets to the point where they're like, no, hang on, step by step by step.
You are given plenty of time to take everything that you're learning and make something of it.
And that gives you a common vocabulary with every other team that you might be working with.
You'll get to the point where you might be able to do everything, or you'll find a focus that you truly love and you can dedicate your time and energy to that.
And they really did allow me to not only learn, but to also test my own skills personally.
You're more prepared. You're like, I'm ready to go because I know these skills, I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm bringing to the table. What are you bringing?
I can always look back at that and be like, yeah, like this is where I really start to see like, yeah, this is what I want to do with the rest of my life.
Game design has changed my life, quite literally. It changed my path that I wanted to go on.
Thank you, James. And can you actually allow me to share my screen really quick?
Sure.
Yeah, just for like a minute.
Hold on 1 second.
All right.
Do. You might have.
Yeah, you can just make me co-host so that
It doesn't have the option for co-host for some reason.
Okay.
I can make you the host, so
All
or you
right.
can just pass it back.
Okay. Thank you. All right. I just want to share some of what we did this year. Basically, we try to celebrate student achievement and students' biggest achievement, which is graduation. So this is the kind of after graduation or degree celebration party we prepared for this year's the graduating students. And these are kind of pictures from from the event, and then we had many students and family and faculty members and staff and kind of celebrate together. So this is, and then we awarded people with, this year we prepared the plaque for the awards that we give away at the degree celebration. And these are like pictures from Professor Casey awarding students with the plaque. Yeah. So this is basically all happy graduates from our program, and obviously this was possible because all the hardworking faculty, staff, and students. Okay, and I'm going to make you, James, you as host again.
Excellent.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
you can, yeah,
got
you
it.
can, you can share the screen again.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I don't know why it doesn't have a co-host anymore, but whatever.
Yeah.
It was actually kind of cool. And what you're going to see here, and then Sang's going to talk about this, but most of that video was actually at our senior expo. So what you saw in that video is actually them getting to display stuff. So go ahead, Sang.
Yeah. Can we? This is 15 minutes, so we're not going to watch.
No,
it
we're
yet,
not going to
but
play this one.
Every year we have.
I'll put the link
Yes.
inside the chat, and then they can
Great.
look at it later.
So these are game trailers from all the 14 projects we showcased at Senior Expo. And you probably know that we require 2 semester long senior capstone class, which are taught by Professor Casey and Professor Piccioni. And these are games produced from those classes. So obviously, this is what kind of like essence of our graduating students. And at your leisure, please visit and kind of watch the video so that you can gaze upon the quality of senior games produced from our classes. Okay, next. And then I mentioned this before, and I got my tenure with Fulbright program from 2021 to 2025. And this year, actually not 2025, it's 2022. I got matching project in Tunisia. So my project is capacity building in game design and virtual reality. And my contract includes 2 trips to Tunisia. And first trip, I did 2 weeks long the workshop, actually 9 to 5 workshop. It was really hard, but I completed. And then those are students and professionals actually who completed that workshop. So we gave away, we gave them like a nice certificate. And so I completed the first trip, and I'm planning to go back probably early September. And for my second trip, I'm going to create a virtual reality game to promote their historical site in Tunisia, to promote their culture and history. Okay. Next slide, please. And this year, we awarded students the Tencent America Undergraduate Scholarship. And in some, we awarded $75,000 scholarship. And then I listed the names of students, recipients. And this year, for the first time, we included 2 Mason Korea students. So we try to recognize the excellent students from Mason Korea as well. And because pandemic is nearly over, and I really hope so, and we are going to the focus on study abroad program more. So currently, we have study at Mason Korea program, and we have we have a pretty decent relationship with Evertay University in Scotland, and Howest University in Belgium, and University of Westminster in London. And in fact, I met with the representative from Evertay University yesterday, and we talked about potential collaboration and how we can increase more student exchange programs. So we basically talked about we will invite the professors from Evertay University for our Virginia Chess game like speaker series online, not in person, but they agreed to kind of share what they're doing in Evertay University. And we organized one international game jam with University of Westminster. And we actually offered, MDTA offered a couple of classes for their freshmen and sophomore, and then we're going to continue to do that. And then they recently reached out to me again to do something together in the future. And in terms of short-term study abroad program, the Tokyo, Japan, Professor Dietrich and Professor Lubowicz, they were planning to take students to Tokyo this year, but because Tokyo kind of got closed during the summer, so we didn't do it. But our intention is really to start this short-term study abroad program at Tokyo next year. And then China is currently closed too, but Tencent China is located Shenzhen, China. And then we always talk to Tencent and they kind of want us to come back to Shenzhen and kind of work with them. So we are going to develop a short-term study abroad program in Shenzhen, China as well. Thank you.
There we go. For some reason, my mouse cursor was gone there. So, all right. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about the VSGI with Stephanie and folks here. So first off, he's not on the call today, but our esteemed director that founded the game design program and the VSGI and continues to teach and do things, was actually promoted to full professor at GMU just this last year, effective as of the 10th. And he's still working on our PhD program. It's been sent around internally, getting ready to go to Chev, and is getting a lot of support. So that's great. So we just wanted to take a quick second and congratulate Scott. And obviously, a lot of you probably know them that have got on the call or seeing this, and feel free to reach out and congratulate him as well. We mentioned the speaker series briefly earlier. It, obviously has concluded since now we're in the summer. We had a lot of cool topics this last spring. They're all up on our speaker series website. And if you have interest in doing one, if you know people that might want to do one, if you have topics for one, we're always willing and eager for more people to come in. So we have a few ideas for the fall. But we're always looking for more, and we want to continue this tradition for as long as we can. Milk it for all it's worth. So, real quick, just go over some of the resident companies we currently have in here. Scripted Incorporated has got their first client. They're working on providing some NFT and blockchain solutions for them. They're going to the Collision Conference in Canada as well to seek out additional funding and clients. Improve on Health has been working with some interns here at the VSGI to integrate gaming mechanics into their medical devices / application. And they're also going up to Collision Conference to seek out additional funding and collaboration. The Historical Movement Archive, they applied for an IDIA grant through GMU, which unfortunately they did not get. They are currently submitting one for the NEH, and they have another grant in the works. So they're continuing to move ahead. They're making progress along with some interns to basically take their virtual playhouse that they've built in the past and create a virtual meeting space where people can come together in virtual reality and not only just meet, but explore this their movement archives and be able to even share recordings together and collaborate together. And that's what they've been working on and trying to get additional funding to keep going. Fly Guy Interactive, which created the social emotional game for kids, for communities and schools. Still working with them as kind of a service contract, but they're actively seeking out additional contracts at the moment. Same with NAMIR, they are working on some contract opportunities with partners. And then finally, Stimlins, which is a virtual company that we work with that is doing math education and serious games, has been working on ways to add artificial intelligence into the mix in their educational games and is working with us on some grant opportunities there. So that's kind of where we are with some of the current ones. But I also wanted to introduce the folks to some of the new things that are coming up. We actually had some folks that approached us about working together. They knew our previous company, Citadel, that was in here as a resident company. They know Scripted, the current company, and I know them from my time back in Mythic. There's some industry veterans of the gaming industry, as well as the gentleman who's founding the new company also did a cloud IT service company that did very well after he left Mythic, and he sold it and has money. So they want to get back in the gaming industry. They didn't want to be in Manassas though. They wanted to be in Arlington, and we'd always been looking at how we can, contribute and collaborate with the Arlington campus. So we actually referenced them and referred them over to the Arlington campus. They're actually moving into some of their space there that is very similar kind of mechanic that we have here at the VSGI, and then we'll be supporting them both ourselves in game design, GMU in general, and it will mean some great internship opportunities as they start to spin up and get a little bit larger once they kind of get pre-production done on their new game. They haven't really announced anything yet. They're going to be called Lork Games, but they haven't put out any press or whatever. But a lot of good industry veterans behind it, and they have funding. So I sense some good things coming out of them in the near future, and we'll have more as we hear more. So, which just means I have to go to Arlington every once in a while now too, which I personally don't like, but they like it for some reason. So. And finally, we also have another company that is applying, just applied, that I've been talking to for a while, that is looking at an opportunity. And we can talk about this after we kind of get through news and see if anybody has thoughts or things on it as well. The company is called Viva Vita. It's a virtual reality company. Their goal is to provide basically kind of turnkey solutions for senior citizens, whether they're at different kinds of housing or communities, etc. The goal is they want to not only curate content, but create content that and give these packages so that people can basically buy them, and then the folks in these communities or homes can take trips virtually or experience things that they may never get a chance to at this point, for whatever reason, be it monetary or physical or things like that, or remembers things that they've done in the past or experience new things. Keep them physically active as much as possible. Just like the Wii was a great thing for those kind of communities when it came out. It's not too physically demanding yet physical. So again, using the new technologies, using what games and the technologies do to help senior citizens. So they're looking for not only space and mentorship, but potentially internships to create VR experiences to go along with their packages to make them really stand out, over any potential competitors. So, vivavita.org is the name of the website, and you can kind of check out what they have. And we'll be talking with them and seeing if they make sense and potentially offering them residency. At least try them out and see how they work. So. With that in mind, Stephanie, you want to keep us updated on where we are with research, some of the stuff that's kind of in progress coming up?
Yeah, sure. So as you'd mentioned before, we just submitted yesterday the NEH grant for the Historical Movement Archive, the National Endowment for the Humanities. It was to create a prototype for a like you said, virtual playhouse. So we just submitted that yesterday. Then we are also working with Prince William County Economic Development for a special grant program that they want to hold within Mason. It's called Ignite. And it's just a business development competition to kind of fund a business idea. And throughout the time, we'll be mentoring them with various faculty members and helping them kind of create a team and create a business plan and all of those nice things. And in the end, we'll award somebody some money, and it's really nice. And then we have, of course, like you said, been working with Stemlands. We've been collaborating with them and helping them with letters of support for the grant that they're going after as well. And then starting at the end of the month, we will be mentoring 2 ASIP students, the Aspiring Science Summer Internship Program. And we'll be working with one of our companies, Scripted, to create kind of a research white paper business solution for them and for these students, which they'll present at the end of the summer. So, and it'll be on something in regards to Web 3.0 or blockchain. As always, if anybody has any interest in a grant or interest in any kind of research, just contact me and I'll see what I can do.
Awesome. And I know Sang is also mentoring some folks through the same ASIP program as well this summer. So we should have some really good projects coming out of them. So
Great. And then we will start working with Innova, and you can
Yes,
mention that.
forgot
Yeah.
about Inova. Yeah, they're still coming in.
Yes, yes, that was pretty recent. But we did get the start on that grant that I think we had started working on last year.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've been chatting with them. So awesome, cool. Last but not least, we're still working on a project with CVPA for their artist in residence Caniza, an AR application. We finally got this big performance that they did in volumetric video capture rendered in a format that hopefully is much, it's much smaller. So hopefully it'll work with the AR application, and we're working now to get that all set up. I already mentioned we're working on stuff with the HMA and our HoloLens. And then finally, there's some stuff going around on the campus. So if you're not aware, the SciTech campus is getting a new building. They actually did a groundbreaking just recently for that, as well as a groundbreaking for essentially a new kind of shared residential, commercial, you think about Loudon One or one of those types of projects where it's a little bit of everything. They're doing that right next door to the campus here, right off of 234. And that's basically going to be right against our campus. So it's actually going to expand options for students and everybody in this area tremendously. And so there was a groundbreaking for that as well. And that's really cool because it all kind of ties into as well. This is GMU's 50th anniversary. And they're doing a lot of events. In fact, we'll be doing some stuff with the SciTech campus around the 50th, sometime in, is it September, Riza? Yeah, okay. And we'll announce that, and it'll be a big open house and things like that. But also part of that 50th program, they're doing this kind of like a movie from every decade that Mason was around. And we did our first one already, but there's 4 more coming. The next one, if you wanted to go, it's a free movie right here on campus. If you wanted to see the Hunger Games again on a bigger screen and join people, it'll be this Friday at 7 p.m. And then they have a League of Our Own and My Big Fat Greek Wedding and ET. And so a lot of cool stuff, free movies, and they give popcorn and stuff out too, right? I think, yeah. So come on in and just watch a free movie if you want. All right. That brings us to MGTA, the Mason Game and Technology Academy. Joshua, I know you're on there, right? You want to do a quick update and just, I know you basically it's a big summer push for you at this moment.
Yep. Let me make sure I did everything. Yeah, it looks like on my up. Hello, by the way. Yeah. So yeah, we concluded spring. Everything went pretty well. We had 3 classes. We had a Unity class, we had a Roblox class, and we had a Blender class. And we did that in partnership with the Prince William school district there. So we got a bunch of kids in on scholarships, which is a pretty good opportunity. And we're now moving into the summer, which basically starts next week, which is what I've been doing all day. We'll be doing 3 weeks of virtual classes, and 3 weeks of residential classes with our national partner Envision. So that's the only really big thing currently is just summer, which will just be 2 months of that essentially. So
yeah. And then I know you guys are still working and have been
yes.
working on some additional extra classes that hopefully we'll expand on when we go into future summers. And I think we're getting some money, additional money from Micron for potential more scholarships going forward as well. I know that's in the works.
Yes, I actually responded to them as well. You got to it before I did, but yes.
Awesome. So yeah, lots of great stuff still going on and continuing. So I think that's it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So because it's open session, I'm just going to turn this off so we see people's faces. No, I don't want a new one. I just want to, there we go. All right. So I know we got Andre and Andrea and Bob and David, and then a bunch of folks on our end. Is there anything that you guys have going on in your world, or anything that we talked about that you guys want to bring up? Any questions about anything that's been going on? And I know, Andrea, you're getting all prepped for ASIP with everybody. But Bob or Andre or David, you have anything that you guys want to discuss?
Sorry. Yep, Jim, I'm about to send you and Song some information about ASIP and your interns and Blackboard and more than you probably want to know. But anyway, just trying to get everything organized.
What day is the showing off of projects going to be?
Oh, great. Yeah, you guys are all invited. So it is going to be a hybrid event and in person at the SciTech campus at Verizon Auditorium on Wednesday, August 10th, probably likely in the afternoon. Yep. So
Awesome.
you can go virtually and you can see the presentation. So I hope you guys, if Jim, you can forward the invitation to anybody you want to. Yeah, we'd love to have you guys. Mm-hmm.
No, I think that's great. Awesome. Bob or David, I know, is your book out yet, David?
Yeah, it is out. It's been out a little over a week, so thank you for that. It's called Sweating Together. If anybody's
interested. Like right there. It's like, oh my gosh.
There's a larger size. I guess I should reposition this. There you go. Available at all major booksellers online.
You always have to have those things really handy, right? Because you never know when people might want to know about a book.
I've got a good box or two in the other room. No, that's out, and it's it's interesting for a whole range of reasons. If you're following the Peloton saga, which doesn't end, each day by day it's falling apart. But it's got a big gamification component, and that's one of the reasons I thought it was an interesting extended case study. Is how they've used community and gamification, physical space, digital space, hardware, software, at a very simple level for people in this room, but still the basic concepts have been incredibly effective, having retention rates, growth rates that generally health clubs don't see. So always willing to talk about it. I'm definitely going to reach out to you guys about, some of your speakers series. If it makes sense.
Absolutely.
Just got off a call with the I-Corps team. For those who don't know about the I-Corps grant at George Mason, it's where we support early stage innovators, teach them a little bit about lean startup customer discovery, making sure that their technical development is actually matched by market development at the same time. We've got a great team representing a range of schools. We have a bunch going on, a few sessions in the summer, but in the fall, there'll be a lot of events. So we'll just make sure everybody knows that, but just happy to see folks and hear the updates from game design.
Yeah, and I know those guys as well are going to be working with the Prince William folks that we mentioned within this grant program, where it's going to be kind of like when you guys were doing those business pitch things. I missed those actually; those were fun. It's that kind of idea where people can kind of pitch an idea and a team, and then go. And they're going to have the whole Shark Tank like thing where they show off at the end of the year and hopefully win some money to help make it. So awesome. Andre, I see your mic's on. Did you have something you wanted to add?
Sure. Yeah. So enjoyed the presentation, and I just wanted to comment on a couple of things.
Sure.
I'm excited about that NEH proposal going in for the historical movement activity, and also really pleased that there'll be some presence in the Arlington campus. I know that's I know that's a trip, a long trip, but that is an area of strategic priority for the university.
Oh yeah,
right. There's a big $250 million building there. It's on the president's radar, and there's going to be quite a it's going to be quite a diverse group of tenants there. There's going to be, small companies there. We're expecting there'll be large cap there. There's going to be government, Fed government, classified work, and there are going to be faculty there, undergrad students, grad students. So the whole idea behind this is collisions. And I just think having a presence in that space is potentially going to create new opportunities for you, no matter what your interests are, whether they're startups, community engagement. There's going to be a lot happening in Arlington. So, and there's going to be resources there. And
Yes.
again, those could be, it could be funding, but it doesn't have to be funding. There are people, there are partners with diverse interests. So,
Yep.
so, it's worth a trip over there every now and
Oh no,
again.
I went out and got to see him on their first day officially in the office, and it was really nice. It's get to see the space and things like that. So it was it's only technically 12 miles.
Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah.
Of course, that day 66 had 3 crashes, so I went a different way. But yeah, it's not terrible per se as long as you go the right time. But yeah,
And
no,
if you imagine that pilot space, remember
oh,
that's
yeah.
just
that's
that's
a tiny
just
spot.
Yeah, and it kind of is just to give people a flavor of what's going to come in the new building.
Oh, when the big building gets there. Oh, thanks, Bob. Did you have anything you wanted to talk about, Bob, before you duck out? I know you have to duck out.
No, but I do have to duck out. But
Okay.
thanks for the meeting.
No, I
See you
appreciate it.
later.
Thanks for showing up.
Sure. Bye.
Awesome. I think that hit everybody. I just wanted to go over it real quick. We didn't, it's summer. We want to, let everybody know where we are, get everything going. We'll continue to do these and reach out to all of our current board members and get new ones. And hopefully we'll have some more people out there for Arlington as well as the people that we're hopefully getting out here in our space. But yeah, things are going really cool. Anybody else have anything they want to throw in there before we take off for the day?
I recently got a grant for a partnership with robot company from Switzerland. They're called Timio Mobasa. Yeah, to provide some integration of programming robots. And yeah, thank you.
Cool. Well, let us know if you need anything or any way we can help.
I will. Start delivering things now. No.
Oh, that's awesome. Cool. All right. Well, I appreciate it. All right. That's all I have. And we'll reach out to you, David, about speaker series, other stuff we can do together. So awesome. Thanks, everybody. Thanks so much for showing up and giving us this afternoon.